Flyer, Henry Turner. The final home stand for the Kings in the regular season. They will have a play-in game here as well. We do know the Kings will be in the play-in after getting the road win in Detroit on Monday night, followed up by that Phoenix debacle last night against Golden State at home. The Warriors routing the Suns. So the Kings are at least the 10 seed. They're hoping to get a 9 seed. The Mavs are playing tonight against Luka in LA in Big D, and the Kings have Denver tonight. A lot in this hour to go over, High Flyer. We've got Kyle Larson, of course, Elk Grove's own, a native NASCAR champion, will be with us. He's in the house tonight to watch the game. We're going to talk to him. And, of course, we've got the coaching change in Denver right now. Rick Adelman's son, David Adelman, the new head coach of the Denver Nuggets. Michael Malone fired yesterday. We'll get into all of this, but right now David Adelman is meeting the media for the first time. There's a ton of national media here at Golden One Center. We're going to go to that press conference for just a little bit.
Wise wins finals championship. The experience he gave me, 8 years, allowing me to grow as a coach. All the guys on this coaching staff that are here, we've been together for a long time. And those guys growing up underneath us, the Jamals, Nicolas, Michael, adding Aaron, CB, what he's doing now. So what this is right now is the national narrative, whatever it is. I look at it as a hell of a run, and he's not done. So honored to work for the guy and honored to take this seat and do the best I can.
David, what is this moment like for you? Because I'm sure you did not envision these type of circumstances for you to kind of be put in this position. And also, from your vantage point, what has not been going well for the Nuggets that you're going to try to help to turn around?
I just think our overall vibe. I think that happens in professional sports. It's funny to be in Sacramento for this and know that my father was here for 8 years and to think that thing would never end, when it was going. And the vibe here was incredible. I felt like that in Portland as a kid with, not dating myself, but Terry, Clyde, Jerome, Buck, Duckworth, Robinson. It ends sometimes, just the feeling of it. And I think that's our goal here. It's only 3 games. It's 12 quarters, or maybe some overtimes, who knows? But I do think it's on the room to start to rely on each other in a more positive way. And constructive criticism is good. But I think there's got to be a better way to communicate with our group. And that, I think, will lead to better play. And it happens. It's a group of people. It's like being in a huge marriage. I mean, you're around each other so much. So this stuff happens. Pro sports keeps going. You can put all the shows on TV you want. It's going to move on to the next thing all the time. Right now, we are that thing or one of those things. But we're going to go play tonight. And there'll be a new narrative after this, win or lose. And you have to keep it moving. Professional sports is fluid, and it just keeps going. And it's tough. But as a kid that grew up in this, that's just the way it is. And we're going to do our best to salvage this thing and get it going.
All right, there you heard from David Adelman. High Flyer, it's good to see you. I have no idea where to start tonight. There is so much going on before this game tonight. We've got the Kings and the incredible run to finish the road trip. Malik Monk is going to be out for 2 weeks, they announced, before being reevaluated with a calf injury. We've got the Nuggets coming in after firing Michael Malone when they just won an NBA championship 2 years ago. David Adelman, the son of Rick Adelman, gets his first game here. As you heard him talk about, it'll be in Sacramento where his dad had the tremendous run with the Kings. I just don't even know where to begin tonight.
I was saying, and don't leave off the signing of Terrence Davis.
TD back in the house.
TD is back in a Kings uniform.
Yes, I like that, by the way.
Hey, you know what? It's a lot going on right here in G1, no doubt.
Where would you like to start? What do you think?
You know what? Let's go back because we're going to keep it in game day form. So let's talk about the last 2 games in a row.
What a turnaround for the Kings. Obviously, the road trip got off to a horrific start,
right?
With those 3 losses capped off by maybe the worst loss of the year in Washington. Everybody down on the team thinking that possibly won't even make the play-in. And then all of a sudden, there's a team meeting. You see them win in Charlotte, a game that they were very businesslike, took their right attitude on the floor and beat a depleted Charlotte team. And then what they did on Sunday and Monday, incredible. Getting the win against the Cavs, who were 33-5 at home at the time. Best record in the Eastern Conference. They win that game without Keegan Murray. They go on to Detroit, follow up on a back-to-back. without Malik Monk and Keegan Murray, both in an incredible finish and getting 3-3 and have wrapped up the play-in, and they're going to be in the play-in next week. We don't know if they'll be in Sacramento or not, but they're going to be playing next Wednesday night.
Well, Scooter, definitely not textbook. You never thought that the Sacramento Kings would be able to go 500 on the road trip in that fashion. When they came out and played the game against Orlando, you're like, uh-oh, here we go. And then Indiana, they played a good basketball game. Played well.
They did.
Just came down to the last second and lost the basketball game. But that Washington game, was the one. It's just like left a serious bad taste in your mouth. And, like you said, everybody thought that the Kings were done.
Yeah.
But, what a difference 2 games make.
Unbelievable.
What a difference 2 games make. The Kings go in and they get it right and they get it done. And they go into Cleveland. They knock Cleveland off.
Yep.
Then short trip to Detroit, strapped them up real tight, came out and was able to get that Detroit game. Now the Kings are feeling good about themselves.
They're feeling really good about themselves, playing some of their best basketball of the year. And obviously, Zach LaVine was incredible in those 2 games, coming off 37 in Cleveland, following it up with 43 in Detroit. Impressive. And how many times of late have we talked about the Kings having a double-digit lead to lose the lead? They came back from 18 down in Detroit to win the game.
Here's the deal, Scott. Do I like that part of the game? No way, no how. But has the Kings been really consistent at doing that? Yes, don't like it. They go down big, but some way, somehow, they find themselves being able to rally back and be very competitive at the end. I never want to see this team go down big because I think it takes a lot out of you in order to come back. But you talk about, resiliency.
Yeah.
This Sacramento Kings team has that.
No doubt. And we've seen them play some subpar third quarters, but not in Detroit, outscoring the Pistons 35-22. It was a 65-45 second half for the Kings in that 127-117 win.
Everything is good, Scott, when that shot is falling. When the Kings are knocking down shots, they can play with the best of them.
It was another 50-40-80 night. 50% field goal, over 40% from 3, over 80% at the line.
Offensively, the Kings got it done offensively. I really can't say that they were locked down defenders because, Cleveland didn't shoot the ball particularly terrible, nor did Detroit. But the Kings shot the ball at such a Herculean level. That just goes to show you that if your firepower is clicking on all cylinders, you can be in the game.
No doubt. And when you get 80 points combined between LaVine and DeRozan, you went for a cool 37. You're tough to beat.
And that's not textbook of how you want Sacramento Kings ball to be played. I'm just going to put it out there. You don't want to have to rely on Zach to get 40 every night and DeMar to get 30 every night. That's not the way you want to win basketball games. But in certain scenarios, can they do it? Yeah. Yes. In certain scenarios to where if you really need it, can those guys dig deep and pull out those type of games? Yes. But the Kings need to win collectively. They need to get that across the board. DeMar, 20s. Zach, 20s. Keegan, 18. Sabonis, 18, 19. And go all the way down. Everybody has to do their part.
Yeah, and speaking of Sabonis, he had 19, but he also had a triple-double as right of the year. So he's back, and he looks like he's feeling 100% again.
Definitely needs the big fella. Sabonis brings, heart and soul, grit and grind to this basketball team. And as far as grabbing rebounds and, doing the brunt work and even facilitating the basketball, the Sacramento Kings depend a lot on that young man.
They do indeed. Of course, on the negative side, the Kings' health has become a real issue. Keegan Murray, again, we'll have the full injury report, but Keegan Murray unavailable again tonight, listed as day-to-day with back inflammation. That's his 3rd game he'll be missing. Malik Monk, we found out, will be reevaluated on that calf injury in 2 weeks. So we do know that the Kings will not have him for the play-in scenario, and if they should win the game on Wednesday, they wouldn't have him for the second play-in game with a chance to make the playoffs.
Well, Scott, you see what happens when you put too much of pressure on a young man's back. It gets sore, too. The Sacramento Kings have asked Keegan to put so much on his plate defensively, man. Young man is just tired, man. He's sore. I understand that. But, Kings, this is the NBA, baby. We need you. We need you. You hurry up. You get your treatment and get back on this floor because guess what? You still going to guard the best guy on every team as soon as you come back.
Yeah. But the thing of it is the Kings are playing well. Can they survive, You know, we saw the Kings go into the play-in last year not fully healthy either.
That hurt too.
Yeah, remember Malik missed serious time end of the year.
Oh, and you know what? And I honestly thought if the Kings had the service of Malik Monk, when they went to New Orleans, they would have won that basketball game. They just needed one more guy to be on the floor, and Malik Monk was going to be that guy.
No doubt. So a ton going on here. Obviously, the national news. There's two major national stories. One of them here in Sacramento with Michael Malone being dismissed as head coach of the Nuggets. We'll delve into that. But, of course, probably the biggest news right now is what's going on in Dallas. Luka back in Big D.
Yeah, that's must-see TV right there.
And it's on right now as well.
It is must-see TV. You know, I should have put that one on the DVR because I just wanted to see how the fans were going to react to him coming back into that arena.
All right, so halftime score. Lakers are leading 60-57. And, of course, it's a huge game for the Kings, too. Mavs lose tonight. Kings win tonight. They've wrapped up the 9 seed. But we'll save that for the moment. Lakers are up 60-57. You want to take a guess at how many Luka has right now?
20.
Higher.
Woo! He has more than 20?
He has more than 20.
25?
Higher.
You got 30?
Higher.
Hold on. I know he ain't going off on different.
He's got a crisp 31 at the half.
Oh, he letting them know. Scott, we always talk about revenge game.
This is the ultimate revenge game.
Are they real or aren't they?
All right, so let's give you the exact percentages. He is 11 of 16 from the floor, 6 of 8 from three-point land, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals.
Like I said, I want to know how the fans are perceiving this because I bet you, even when Luka scores, the Dallas fans are still cheering. I can pretty much guarantee that.
They were with a standing ovation, from what I understood in the lineup,
because they love that dude.
Yeah,
I know they're still cheering him even though he's hurting the Dallas team.
Yeah,
they are still with Luka.
Yeah, it's an amazing situation. Who says that the NBA isn't the ultimate soap opera? Tonight is as good as it gets all around the league.
As the NBA turns.
No doubt. All right, we've got to turn. We got to take a break. We've got so much more to get to, and we've got Kyle Larson coming on tonight, a NASCAR champion from our area. He's in the house tonight to take in the game. We're going to talk to him as well. He's coming up at 6 o'clock. But when we come back, we'll break down the Denver Nuggets situation about Michael Malone. High Flyer, I'll get your thoughts. Game night is always being brought to you by our good friends at Howard Gumbo, best gumbo in Sacramento. Go check them out. They're open Thursdays and Fridays, 11 to 8, Saturday and Sunday, 2 to 8, located 2120 Marconi Avenue. That is Howard Gumbo. More of Game Day right here, Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net.
Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Kevin Hart with some exciting news. I am coming to a city near you. My new tour is called Acting My Age, and I want to see you there. Come out, have a good night, a good time. It's all new material in a much, much more intimate setting. Go get your tickets and head to KevinHartNation.com now.
Comedy superstar Kevin Hart brings his new tour, Acting My Age, to the venue at Thunder Valley on Saturday, April 26th. Tickets on sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com and KevinHartNation.com.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's happening for the Jeep Celebration event?
I'm excited about this, or should I say my wife is. $20,000 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Jeep Wagoneer S. She had a chance to drive one, and she loves it. And I've not heard from anyone who doesn't love their new Wagoneer. And we have a great selection and more on the way.
I will admit, I sat in one, and it feels very luxurious.
It's nice having such a great option to help get the family wherever they need to go. And if you're looking for something else, we have you covered there, too. People love our new certified pre-owned supercenter with over 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000.
Whatever you need, you can get it at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. JetHoblet.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
20,000 total net savings after 14,000 factory rebates and 6,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 7,000 CDJ federal tax credit offered by third party and subject to change without notice. Consult tax professional for eligibility. Through this net savings, sample VIN 562-884. See dealer for details.
Meanwhile at Xfinity.
Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered the fastest connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary, not guaranteed.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is what makes us different from other law firms. At Gingery Hammer and Associates, we handle your case from beginning to end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether we need to file suit, or even take it all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to you and your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
The PGA club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
49ers are on the clock. Don't miss Sacktown Sports coverage of the upcoming draft. Brought to you by Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge. No one covers pro football like Sacktown Sports, and there's no place better to enjoy it than with over 80 screens at Twin Peaks. And their ice-chilled 29-degree drafts at the 5 p.m. happy hour kickoff.
Listen for the Toyota Tahoe Report every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with Johnny Mosley to get the latest weather conditions in Tahoe throughout this snow season. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back in the game night right here, Sacktown Sports 1140. Scott Marshall on with the high flyer, Henry Turner. Let's just get to it. We got so much to get to. Game night being brought to you by our good friends at Power Business Technology. Experience for yourself how the power of family can help you with all your business copier needs. Give them a call today, 1-844-POWER-BZ, or go to powercopiers.com. All right, Henry, I was shocked when I found out that Michael Malone had been fired.
Oh, man.
As head coach of the Nuggets. A team that won the 2023 championship.
Right.
A team that's right there in the Western Conference standings, albeit they've lost 4 straight, but they're also playing without Jamal Murray.
Right, third or fourth.
Yeah, so you look at the Nuggets record coming into tonight, they're 47-32, so they're in the same spot as the Clippers, the Warriors, and the Grizz, all battling 4 through 7. The Lakers 1 game up, but for them to make the move, especially when they did, it's the latest firing in NBA history. David Adelman in, what's your thought?
I mean, when you fire your coach and your GM.
Yeah, that's right. Calvin Booth also relieved of his duties.
Yeah, same time.
Yep.
You know, from what I'm hearing in the grumblings and, all the, undertone stuff is that, they felt like he was losing the locker room.
Yep.
Almost like the same thing with Mike Brown here.
Yeah.
Felt like Mike Malone was losing the locker room, and I'm pretty sure it had to be some grumblings from some players. Yep. Because the players have all the leverage and the leeway in today's game.
Yeah.
Back when I was in the NBA, it was a coach's league. Whatever the coach said, go, and if the coach didn't like what was going on, the player was the one that got traded.
Right.
But with the money that these guys are making, the power statue has definitely shifted, and the players have more power than anybody else.
No doubt. I mean, Malone had been there 10 years. Obviously, came there after being let go here in Sacramento.
Right.
First 2 years, losing records, had 8 straight winning seasons. And what's the parallel? So interesting, of course, Rick Adelman with those 8 straight playoff seasons.
Right.
With David taking over now. What does that say about the Nuggets and where they're at right now? They said they made the move to salvage this year. Do you believe that?
I don't know, Scott. I mean, I understand organization says, and their thinking is, they have to make a move to make a change.
Yeah.
something has to change in the locker room. Well, they know they can't change the players.
Right.
It's too late to change the players.
Yeah.
So the only thing that you can change is the coach and maybe the GM. I mean,
do you think, I mean, we always say this, like when we looked at Milwaukee and all the coaching changes, which seemed not to make a lot of sense. And obviously they made a move halfway into one season with their coach when they brought in Doc Rivers.
Right.
We assume Giannis had full say or no about that. What do you make about Jokic in this situation?
It's funny. I was just talking about this downstairs. And when you look at a player like Nikola Jokic that's in his prime, he's still playing his best basketball.
Some people think he's the best player in the world, right?
Hey, quote unquote, probably, arguably the best player on the planet.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure if you're the brass in Denver, you don't want to upset him.
No.
So, I'm just guessing here. This is just me guessing.
You have to assume that he at least nodded off on it, right?
I don't even think he had to nod off on it.
Yeah.
I think they at least told him or asked him, said, hey, we're thinking about making a change, and this is what we're thinking about doing.
Yeah.
What do you think before they pull the trigger? Now, they might have pulled the trigger anyway, anyhow, but I bet they consulted the big fella.
I would have to assume so. All right, so David Adelman takes over, and of course we know his dad Rick and everything he did in Sacramento and throughout the league, a Hall of Fame coach and well-deserved with multiple teams. But I remember with David Adelman, back in the glory days, we would play pickup games in the practice facility. That's what I remember about David Adelman.
Wow, he was a kid back then.
Yeah.
Happy for him. Happy for him. You have to understand that the NBA is a business, and I agree with what Doug Christie said. Doug put it best. He was like, this job here is very glorified, but it isn't for the faint at heart. NBA is a business, bro. And sometimes it can be a very, very harsh business, depending upon which side you're on. So, but this is what we sign up for. And a lot of guys understand. That's why it's a $1 billion company.
Yeah.
And, things happen, but you got to roll with it.
Well, we saw, when Mike Brown was let go here, the Kings went on that heater initially with DC after losing that first game in LA. They won 7 straight. Maybe that's the thought process here too, something to wake up the team as they're heading into the playoffs.
And Scott, I honestly think it's just to wake up the players, because think about this. When Doug came over, took over from Mike Brown, he didn't have no time to change anything, flip things around and say, okay, everything's going to be okay. Well, the same thing with Adelman. He probably is not going to change not one thing. He's still going to run Mike Brown's system.
Yeah.
The system is not going to change. This is what these guys are used to. Can you imagine him coming in and trying to put in a whole new offense at this particular point?
No. It's not going to happen. The offense will be get it to Joker.
That's it.
Yeah, we know that. And just, obviously Doug will be focused on his team, of course, but you can't overlook down on courtside tonight seeing Doug on one end and David Adelman on the other.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? And just to throw a little caveat in, they got Jerry Reynolds on the call.
That's right. Jerry Reynolds is doing TV tonight. Katie Christensen is at a viewing party. Her husband is in Survivor, the series this year, right?
Okay.
So the show's on tonight. They've got a party for that. She'll be there. And JR will be doing the broadcast. And, of course, it was Doug who took over on the TV side for Jerry when he decided to retire.
Right.
And, nobody has more respect for Jerry Reynolds than Doug Christie.
Let me tell you, man. Jerry Reynolds is a legend.
He is.
Around this part.
Yep.
There's not. I'm telling you, it's only 2 guys around here that hold that type of mystique.
One has a seat right next to us.
Jerry Reynolds is one, and G-Man is the other.
Yep.
Both of them got white hair, and they are jokesters, but they are sorely loved in the Sacramento community.
They are. They are beloved indeed. Amazing. So much stuff going on tonight. And when we come back, something very special as well. Kyle Larson is up here. We're going to be talking to a NASCAR champion from Sacramento. He's going to be racing, of course, in the Save Mart 350, the Toyota Save Mart 350 coming up in July over Sonoma Speedway.
I got some questions for him.
Good. We want to get to him.
I'm a car guy.
All right, let's take the break. We'll get back with Kyle Larson. This is Game Day right here, Sacktown Sports 1140.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. A mild start Thursday with valley temperatures already in the low to mid 50s. Pretty warm in the afternoon, too. Highs in the mid 80s with a few high clouds. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Ready for an early bird special? A new HVAC system replacement, both heating and cooling, for as low as $11,789. This is a limited offer and ends April 15th. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
Have you ever dreamed of shopping for the perfect jewelry from home? Well, now it's possible, and you can even build your credit. PrestigiOJewelers.com now offers online shopping, making us the premium credit jeweler nationwide. With an exceptional selection of fine jewelry, from engagement rings and gold chains to sparkling diamond earrings and much more. With over 30 years of experience, Prestigio guarantees you'll find exactly what you're looking for. It's fast and easy. Once approved, you'll receive a guaranteed credit line from $400 to $10,000. All you need is to be 18 years or older, have a valid form of ID, be employed for a minimum of 6 months, and a bank account for automatic payments. PrestigiOJewelers.com is the perfect way to establish or reestablish your credit, with interest rates at only 2.25% per month. We are here to help you with monthly reporting to all major credit bureaus. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. Visit us online at PrestigiOJewelers.com or at one of our locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Enter code SACTOWNSPORTS at checkout to save 10%.
This is an important announcement to anyone facing $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS or state. Struggling taxpayers can now take advantage of special tax relief programs that could resolve your tax problem, stop collections, and significantly reduce the amount you owe if you qualify. Get the relief you need today during these hard economic times. Call Community Taxes Relief Hotline now at 800-908-4758. That's 800-908-4758.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is your AC ready for summer? Don't wait for the heat to hit. Weak airflow? Warm air? Strange noises? These are warning signs your AC needs attention. Our skilled technicians offer AC repair services or replacements to keep your family cool all summer long. Don't sweat it. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning has your back. Here to keep your home cool all summer. Visit onehour.com to schedule today. Financing options available.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
If you've been looking for an SUV that combines luxury, comfort, and off-road capability, look no further than the most awarded SUV ever, the Jeep Grand Cherokee at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. With 470 foot-pounds of torque, a 6,000-pound towing capacity, great gas mileage, the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the perfect SUV for all your needs. See for yourself why people are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Centrally located across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course, it's the place where a handshake still means something.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into Game Night right here, Sacktown Sports 1140. Game Night always brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbofstockton.com. Scott Marsh here with the high flyer, Henry Turner. And Henry, we've got a very special guest here. We've got Elk Grove's own two-time Toyota Save Mart 350 champion and, of course, the Cup Series champion as well in 2021, talking about Kyle Larson. Kyle, it is great to have you here, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me out. It's good to be back home at least for a day and get to enjoy a Kings game. So I'm really excited about it.
You've come to a big game tonight. I know you flew in today from Charlotte, right?
Yeah. We had an early morning back home, but got to come out here. It's always nice, come out and get to see some friends, group of my buddies. We got a box up here tonight to hang out and yeah, watch the Kings go against the Nuggets, and yeah, they've been grinding it here late in the season, so it's been fun to follow along.
Now, I have to tell you, Henry races cars also,
Oh, yeah?
so he's been pumped for this interview for a while.
Well, let me tell you, I don't race the cars that you race. I race RC cars. But I will tell you this, though, and it's funny because, like, as a professional athlete, always look at other athletes and say, okay, you know, you really have to respect what they do. I had a privilege to do the NASCAR experience in Fontana.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm 6'7", 250. And by the time they folded me up and put me in this car, and we went down the straightaway and hit that bank curve,
yeah,
brother, I got to salute you for what you do. Because, I mean, just the G-force it takes alone to come around the curves, man, you got to be a real man to do that.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I missed that track. So they closed that track down a couple years ago. But that'd be a good track to go do it and experience that, because it was really rough down the back straightaway and the corners really slick. I enjoyed that place, and another California track was always nice.
And and I learned so much. I mean, because I've always been a car guy, but I learned so much about racing and when to brake. Well, really, you don't brake in NASCAR. You watch the flags, when to get off, and then you see the other flag when to hit the accelerator. I'm like, oh, okay, this is how they do this.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
I'm like, I still don't want to do it, but I see what happens.
Yeah.
You've been racing your whole life, obviously. Talk about what it was like growing up here in Sacktown and kind of getting your bearing and then going on and being such a national phenomenon.
Yeah, no, it was fun. Trying to move up through the ranks growing up here in Northern California. Everybody's kind of got a different route to get to NASCAR, and mine was on the dirt track. So I grew up going to Chico, every week, Placerville, Petaluma, Watsonville, down, Central California, Tulare, Hanford. Still get to come back home and race a little bit there, but I enjoyed racing on these, really aggressive style racetracks out in California too, compared to the rest of the country. So really kind of helped, hone my skills out here and tough race against tough drivers. And as a kid too, outside of racing, I always look forward to going to Kings games with my dad. I remember going to the old Arco Arena quite a bit, growing up. That was always fun. And then getting to come here to this beautiful arena now a handful of times for some games and concerts and stuff. It's cool. So I just love getting back out west.
I want to ask you, is this the same thing like when, just say, for example, for me, the NBA, I looked at that as my dream when I was a kid, and do you go through the same grinds that you have to do? It's like, it's AAU and it's basketball in the summertime and it's all type of camps and everything you go through. Do you do the same thing in the racing circuit?
Yeah, it's a little different, but yeah, I mean, like for me, I started out in go-karts, right? Like, I don't know what would be equivalent to that, but,
AAU ball.
Yeah,
ball, right.
that. And then, I would go from go-karts to sprint cars, which was probably like high school, college style basketball. And then, once you get to NASCAR, there's the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series. So even at that, you're kind of chipping your way, moving up the ranks. And I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, training side of things and just, studying the sport. Like every athlete studies their sport a lot. So there's a lot that goes into it. I don't just strap into the car every weekend. There's a lot of hours throughout the week of training and just, like these guys out here right now shooting hoops, we're in the simulator.
That's what I wanted to ask you about, the simulators now.
Yeah.
I mean, they got simulators now that.
Oh, yeah. Motion. They got the full screen.
Right. Are they really the real deal? Because I looked at one. I love F1.
Yeah.
I looked at one, and these simulators go for like 25 and 30 grand.
Oh, well,
with the motion and everything. But is it the real deal?
So there's different levels of it. So like the simulator that I'm kind of talking about is so I race for Chevrolet, is the manufacturer that I run for. And they spend millions of dollars on their simulator, but at the recreation level, like iRacing or something,
right?
All you need is a computer and steering wheel pedals, so you can do it super cheap, or you can get into the motion rigs that are like 20, 30 grand. But I don't feel like they're close enough. I would save your money on the motion and just get the stationary stuff, but. iRacing does a great job. Like they laser scan all the tracks, so all the tracks got all the same bumps that we're used to, all the visuals, banners on the walls, where the light fixtures are on the walls, like
the shadows and everything.
Yeah, it's very accurate as far as all that goes.
Oh, I'm into it, Scott.
I know you are. This is
it's cool.
fantastic.
It's really cool stuff, and a lot of the young guys, now I've been in the sport quite a bit. I don't really use the sim stuff a whole lot, but the young guys who don't get to test all the time, they spend lots of hours on that stuff. So it definitely helps.
Yeah, because I watched the movie Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
And it's the movie about how guys on the Sims, how they would do if they got put into the real car.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely guys so my teammate William Byron, he didn't start racing until he was like 14 or 15, but he'd ran like online racing quite a bit, and then he talked his parents into getting him into real racing, and he quickly moved up the ranks to NASCAR, and he's leading the points right now. He won the Daytona 500 the last 2 years. So yeah, the online racing is really, really tough because you're competing against millions of people, that are just on there all the time. So it's pretty intense.
That's cool.
That is really cool. We're talking with Kyle Larson here, special guest, and you're decked out. You've got your Kings jersey out. I know you race in the number 5 car. Of course, that used to be Aaron Fox's
I
number.
know,
So
I got
here,
the number now.
You've got the Larson on the backside of it. That's pretty sweet.
That's right.
That is cool. It's great to hear your memories about being a Kings fan growing up here. And of course, you're going to be back out here in July for the race for the Toyota Saymart 350. Normally that race is in June. Move back a month. How does that affect your schedule and what's going on this year?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna enjoy it a lot more being in July. I always love spending that week kind of as a vacation. Obviously getting to go to Napa and all that. But June can be kind of chilly, sometimes there. So July is definitely gonna be some great weather, hotter. You get to lay by the pool, but also enjoy on the weekend some great racing. So I look forward to it. Always look forward to coming home to race, but racing in Napa Valley, Sonoma Raceway is an awesome, awesome venue. So many different things too for the fans to do. They can enjoy beautiful city of Sacramento, or you can go to the Napa area earlier and check out some wineries or great restaurants. And so it's just a very fan friendly event. So I look forward to it every year, and the rest of the series does as well. All the wives come out for that one.
Got to be there for that one.
Yeah, it's a great time,
and it's a road race.
Yeah,
so it mixes it up throughout your schedule too.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. Majority of our races are on the ovals, like what you did at Fontana, but I think we have 4 or 5 road course races where we similar like F1 style tracks where you're rights and lefts. So it's a fun little mix up for us, and I enjoy it. Our car is usually really fast there. So
you've won it twice.
Yeah. Last year we were really good. So hopefully we
good.
can be good again this year.
Let me ask you this. I could talk to you all day and night. What's the difference, or is there a difference between the truck and the sedan?
So it's a good question. I don't do the truck series racing a whole lot, but I just did a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to do it again this weekend here at Bristol. I'm going to do truck, Xfinity, and Cup. So I'll run all 3 of NASCAR's Premier Series, and they all drive different. The truck, compared to them all, I would say it's got the slower of the engines, but it's got the most aerodynamic drag.
Right.
So it's you can drive in the corner a lot harder. You can be more aggressive with everything because you don't have the power, but you have the grip. And then Xfinity is kind of awesome. They're awesome cars. They have a little less power than the Cup car, but they have a lot less downforce, a lot less drag. So you're really kind of sliding them around more. And then the Cup car is unique. It's a more modern style race car. So it's got independent suspension, where the old cars are old stock cars, basically mindset behind them. Where these have, more aerodynamic stuff to them, underbody, all that, diffusers, and it's just more modern. And they have a lot more grip, wider tires, all that. So they're just a more faster kind of paced race throughout. So they all drive different. They all take different driving techniques, and that makes it fun. When I can do a weekend like this one coming up, where I can run all 3 and have to adapt quickly.
He jack of all trades.
No doubt about it. I tell you what, we have just found our new calling here. We are going to start doing a racing podcast.
Yeah.
Kyle, would you be a guest with us on
Let's
that?
go. I'm down.
We are down.
I'm down for it. I love racing.
We'll have to get you guys out to Sonoma this year.
We're coming.
Yeah.
We're coming. We're going to be rooting you on. Before we let you go, just any favorite Kings players, thoughts, memories you want to share with us?
Well, I grew up when I would go, it was always I missed the Peja days.
Yes.
Peja was always my guy because he could shoot, you know, he could drain threes all day. He was, for a kid, he was the Steph Curry of my generation before,
really was.
Steph. So I missed that generation. They were obviously really, really good back then, and like on the cusp of having great year after great year.
No doubt.
So, but it's fun to see them kind of. I feel like over the past, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, like they've built to a good spot, and they're again kind of right on the cusp of being a contender. I feel like every year. So I like cheering them on. I don't get the chance to watch all the time because being on the East Coast, it's late night sometimes. But I definitely check the standings throughout the year, and my dad's obviously a huge Kings fan, so I get all the updates from him.
Well, that's awesome, and it's a big night tonight. The Kings could clinch a home game in the play-in next week, and you've got Doug Christie coaching the Kings now, and Rick Adelman's son. It'll be his first game as head coach of the Nuggets.
Okay,
so there you go. A little nostalgia back. Kyle, thanks for being with us. This was awesome.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy the game
it can't
tonight.
get any better for me, I tell you.
Thank you.
That's the great Kyle Larson. He'll be going for his third win in July at the Toyota Save Mart 350 at the Sonoma Raceway. So enjoy that. When we come back, we'll get you to the Ginger and Hammer injury report. We'll focus in Kings and Nuggets tonight. Big game from Golden One Center. It's a national TV game as well. It's game day right here, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
You know the old early bird and worm thing? Well, here's an early bird special and Bonnie's lowest price of the year. Imagine an entire new HVAC system replacement, both heating and cooling, for as low as, ready? $11,789. Take advantage of that. $11,789. Hurry though, this is a limited offer and ends April 15th. The sooner you act, the sooner you save. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Sacramento, what's up? It's your boy Henry Turner, aka the High Flyer here. Hey, you need something extraordinary? You like soul food? Howard Gumbo is the place for you. Family recipe straight from New Orleans. Gumbo is off the chain, good like mama makes. Check out their $5 bowl of gumbo. It's the best in the business. And when you talk fried catfish, fried snapper, sides, red beans and rice, Cajun rice, and gumbo fries. 2120 Marconi Ave in Sacramento. When you walk up, tell them the High Flyer sent you.
Are you ready to unlock your business's potential? Hey, I'm Alan Stiles, and you can do that with Roxas Technology Solutions. Their mission is to empower growth through cutting-edge, reliable, and scalable technology. They tailor solutions to enhance efficiency and foster innovation, ensuring your business thrives in the digital age. Located in Sacramento, their dedicated team is ready to partner with you for your long-term success. Transform your business now. Go to roxtech.com. That's WROXTECH.com. RoxTech. Tomorrow's technology at your fingertips today.
Whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Your old HVAC system could be costing you a fortune in energy bills and repair bills. Right now, Sierra Pacific is offering deep discounts, saving homeowners thousands of dollars. Savings that won't be available later this year. But you must act fast. We have to fill openings in our schedule next week. This limited time offer is only available if you book your installation for next week. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Sierra Pacific and lock in your savings today.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
49ers are on the clock. Don't miss Sacktown Sports coverage of the upcoming draft. Brought to you by Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge. No one covers pro football like Sacktown Sports, and there's no place better to enjoy it than with over 80 screens at Twin Peaks. And their ice-chill 29-degree drafts at the 5 p.m. happy hour kickoff.
Welcome back into Game Night right here, Sacktown Sports 1140. Game Night always brought to you by the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. If you want to help a kid and become a volunteer mentor, just go to bbbs-sac.org. Get all the information. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Sacramento. Jam-packed show today. Henry, you literally could have talked to Kyle Larson for hours.
Bro, all day, all night.
I'm serious about that racing podcast. We're going to talk more about that when we get done here. But we've got to focus in. We got a huge game tonight. It was great to see Kyle in his Kings jersey ready to go. He'll fire up the crowd, I'm sure. Time now for a Ginger and Hammer injury report. For that, we go back to the Sacktown studios. Anthony, take it away.
All right, starting with the Denver Nuggets, Jamal Murray has been downgraded to out after being doubtful, and Deron Holmes is also out with an Achilles injury. For the Kings, Keegan Murray, Malik Monk, and Jake LaRavia are all out for tonight.
So there you go. Significant pieces missing on both teams. We talked about the Kings. Let's just focus in, following up on everything that happened with Michael Malone, of course. And by the way, the injury report brought to you by Ginger Hammer and Associates. If you're ever in an injury, just call Gingery. But for Jamal Murray to miss the time, this has all happened as well, seemingly just makes it more confusing, right? Because the Nuggets, and of course with the Joker, you have a chance to win any game. But, that's Batman and Robin right there.
You know what's crazy? And it almost mirrors itself. For Mike Malone to get fired, right?
Yep.
Having a good basketball team, doing good things, and you have one of your major guys missing. It kind of sounds like his time here in Sacramento, to where he had the team playing very good ball, and you remember DeMarcus went down.
Yep.
And got hurt.
No doubt.
And then they changed.
Yeah, DeMarcus was sick for a while, remember?
Right.
Yeah.
DeMarcus was out for a while.
Yeah.
And that's some of the best basketball we had seen up until that point within about 12, 14 years.
Yeah. It's interesting, too. And, of course, Michael Malone, was kind of, boisterous after the Mike Brown firing, too.
Yeah,
and now it's kind of come around full circle. And, of course, I'm not saying it's karma or payback or anything like that, but it's interesting, in the same year.
I mean, and I'm pretty sure he understands and he feels for Mike.
Yep.
It's tough nowadays in the NBA, because we talked about it a little bit earlier on, that the players have all the power.
Yep.
And whenever anything isn't going right, and the organization feels like, okay, we need to change, we need to shake up, the number one spot is the head coach.
Yep, no doubt. All right. Let's focus in on this one tonight. It's a monster game for both teams. The Nuggets are trying to get a first-round home playoff court advantage. They're tied with three other teams at 47 and 32. The Kings, of course, are looking for a home game in the play-in tonight. So how do you size this one up?
Both teams need it, Scott. Both teams really do. I'm pretty sure the Nuggets just want to get back on pace. The coach is gone, and you got a new coach in, and you just want to get that feel good back, because I know right now it's got to be a fog in that locker room.
Yeah.
Mike Malone isn't there. It's a void in that locker room, no doubt. And they want to get back to some sense of normalcy. And the Sacramento Kings, they understand. They let a bunch of games drop, and they're back on the makeup tour. So they understand that they need every game that they can possibly get to secure their future.
No doubt. Update in Dallas right now. Third quarter. Lakers up 80-72. You want to take another guess at how many Luka has now?
About 50.
Not quite. 37. 5 rebounds, 5 assists in that game for Luka. How about AD in that game tonight?
Right, because there's another revenge game in there.
Yeah.
It's another story.
And I'm trying to find his numbers. I'm not able to pull them up. He's not on the court at the moment. I don't have a box score in front of me, unfortunately. Let's see here. Full box score. I'll try and pull that one up. So, yeah, Luka's got his 37. And Anthony Davis has 9 points, 9
Wow.
rebounds, 5 assists.
Wow.
And a block.
AD, you got to step it up, baby. You got to make this thing like
You better have a big fourth quarter.
Hey, you got to make this Cinderella story, or you're gonna turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah, it's 83-72 now. Luka with 38. All right. In terms of keys for tonight's game here.
For the Kings,
yeah,
I would say matchups going to be big time. You got probably arguably one of the best 2 players in the league in Nikola Jokic.
Yep. Who are you voting for MVP if you had one?
Shea.
Okay.
Shea by far.
Even though Jokic is probably going to finish a triple-double on the year, averaging over 30 points.
Better than what he did last year, and he won it last year. No doubt, but I'm still going with Shea because of where Shea has taken his basketball club.
All right. A lot of Valanciunas tonight?
Probably. I mean, but Jokic is such a unique freak, bro. It's hard to guard him. And I think it's going to be more so. You don't have Keegan Murray. So what are you going to do at that 4th spot with that young man out there, Aaron Gordon? Because when they came here the last time, Aaron Gordon lit us up because we tried to guard him with DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be really interesting. And obviously the Kings aren't at full strength here tonight, missing 3 big pieces without Keegan Murray, Malik Monk, and also Jake LaRavia. All right, that's going to do it for game night. Henry, that was a lot of fun today. It's always fun, but that was extra fun.
Oh, that was great, man. I like to say, I can talk to that dude every day, all night.
Thanks to Kyle Larson joining us up here. Coming up next, Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross in with the high flyer for that. 7 o'clock tip tonight. G-Man with the call. Sacramento Kings basketball. They take on the Denver Nuggets. We've got you covered all evening long. Keep it tuned. Sacktown Sports, 1140. Have a great night, everyone.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. A mild